Hello again. Thank you very much for joining us. Time now to do business. And the General Agricultural Workers Union is asking government to halt operations of multinationals who destroy farmlands of smallholder farmers to set up their businesses. It made the recommendation at the two-day workshop held at Dodowa.
The stakeholders were disturbed. Operations of multinationals have hampered the growth of agriculture in the West African sub-region.
We are not against investment. Multinational investing in Ghana, either in agriculture, in other areas, that requires the use of land. What we are talking about is that we have to do that. We have to be able to balance that because smallholder farmers, their livelihood depends on agriculture.
They also recommended that incentives should
the communities, but also we have a recommendation for CSOs. So we look at each recommendation and to see how we can plan together to discuss and also to stop and monitor what we are doing.
Again, the stakeholders charged government to pass laws which assist women to acquire land for agribusiness.
Women actually don't own any land, yet they are producing what actually feeds the whole of the sub-region. So we need to advance more in terms of our engagement to make sure that policies and laws open up access for women, not to just any land, to fertile land, and also to land that ensures their tenure security.
The stakeholders were drawn from the West African sub-region to discuss best practices in improving crop yield. They also focused on finding alternative funding to support farmers in the sub-region.
In other business news, the price of sachet water is now 25 pesos. The National Association of Sachet and Packaged Water Producers announced the new price today, saying they believe the Bank of Ghana would circulate more of the 10 peso coins to ease transaction. Now, the extract price of a bag of sachet water is now at 2 cedis 70 pesos.
Now it's going for 25 pesos.
Tell us.
As from today, this morning. So wherever you buy your sachet water, know that it must be selling at 25 pesos.
Others are saying your move is deliberate. Because you know it will get to 30 pesos eventually.
No, we have been there before. It is nothing new. We were 10 going to 15 and it worked. So what shows that from 15 to 25 it's not going to work? The bank released more. I believe if you can go to the bank and find out how the dynamics played out when we changed, you realize that probably the market demanded more of the 5%, so probably they released more into the system. So it started working, and I believe so. Maybe indirectly or coincidentally, we're going to force the Bank of Ghana to release more of the 5% into the system because it is still a legal thing. Mind you, they use the taxpayers' money to print those.
In other business news, an advisor to the Africa Center for Energy Policy, Ishmael Aka, has suggested that the Tema Oil Refinery, which is TOR, be treated as a business entity devoid of political interference. He has therefore cautioned that TOR should only be allowed to refine crude oil if it will be cheaper.
At the end of May 2013, TOR's debt stood in excess of $50 million, accruing from government subsidies and letters of credit. Since 2010, Tema Oil Refinery's operations have been under 52% capacity, which, according to some experts, does not make the company take advantage of economics of scale.
Putting in measures for TOR not to incur additional debt in the future and see how best we can clear the debt. TOR is a business entity and not a political entity. So what it means is that we should operate TOR in such a way that it will make some profit. We have to invest in the machines of TOR.
On the profitability of TOR, Ishmael Aka indicated the necessity of reshaping to right-sizing the workforce and technical challenges to increase capacity.
At 45,000 barrels per day, it is not much. But if we are able to operate it optimally, utilize more like the full capacity or close to full capacity, it will be very profitable for TOR to refine petroleum products.
A petroleum economist at the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, Duncan Amoa, said TOR is profitable.
Crude is cheaper than finished product. At some point in Ghana's history, TOR single-handedly was contributing 10% to Ghana's GDP. A company that has the capacity to turn around every 24-hour cycle and make $300,000 certainly is not a bad asset. Management of TOR is what is going bad.
The experts agree that competition and managerial restructuring are needed, recounting that talks with Petro Saudi in the area of managing TOR are laudable.
A development consultant and economist, Kwame Pienim, has remarked the absence of project management is responsible for the billions of dollars of uncompleted projects scattered across the country. He posited a holistic view of projects that have linkages in the way forward for Ghana.
Addressing the Project Management Institute's Ghana meeting in Accra, Kwame Pienim observed that the country had depended on crash programs instead of project management, which, according to him, does not give value for money. The investment and development consultant explained lack of appreciation for and failure in using project management has not helped the country, resulting in many uncompleted projects and waste of resources.
Project management is the art and science of looking at a project in a holistic manner, with all the networking interconnecting, so that, for example, if you are building a factory to process tomatoes, you make sure that whilst you are building it, you've organized the people around to be able to cultivate the raw material to feed into the factory. And if you don't plan it properly, it leads to cost overrun.
He encouraged the adherence to national development plans instead of political manifestos, which have led to a lack of institutional memory and project management.
It's been said that we don't have rich versus poor countries. We have well-managed countries and countries that do not manage their affairs properly. Gradually, we should get our parliamentarians to say that a budget is coming, this road, show it to us. Where is the design? What is it going to cost? How long is it going to take? How thick is it? What is the plans for maintenance? Then we are learning.
Kwame Pienim added societies whose affairs are well organized and well managed are prospering.